There she is.
Hey.
Hey, we have the one and only Molly Hunter in the building. Welcome to Hip Hop United on the check-in. What's
I'm
going on?
in I'm in my truck. I just went for a ride.
Oh, okay,
Hey,
okay.
Melissa, Raya. Hey, y'all. How are you doing? I'm so
Again.
excited to be on live with you. I got a little
Oh,
jealous when I saw you talking to my friend L.A. Reid Jr. All my
oh,
people.
you already know I had to bring you on. You already know. You already know. So what's been going on though? You said you just went for a ride.
Just one, you can't. For me, even if Georgia decides to open up, I don't think it's a very intelligent idea. When you look
Right.
at the history of the Spanish flus and the different viruses, even just a regular cold and virus has a
Mm-hmm.
tendency to come back. So I I'm chilling.
Okay. Okay. Me too. I it's a beautiful day out, and I have a son, and I want to take him out so bad, but
Just take them
it's
for
like,
a walk. Take them for a walk in the neighborhood. That's the
listen.
way to do it. Take them for
Yeah,
a walk in the
I've been
neighborhood.
I've been doing that, but when you walking in the neighborhood, you have other kids in the neighborhood that want
Yeah, they
to
want to
gather together and
play.
they want to play. So it's like I gotta wait till they go in, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
take him
I
out.
get it.
So
I get it.
yeah, yeah. So again, everybody, we have the one and only Molly Hunter. You wear multiple hats. I could just go on for centuries about you. Music pioneer, music exec, Earth Girl founder, Grammy nominated producer. The list goes on and on. You got to catch my fans up to just a little bit about you. Where you came from, and how you even got in the industry.
Well, first of all, you know how big of a fan I am of you. I'm just so happy to
Thank
be
you.
on your Hip Hop United and that you as a female are doing your own thing. I've seen you do a lot of things with a lot of people and just watching you go out, that's really inspiring to all of us. And I have a lot of gratitude for you for
Thank you.
the support that you've given me, throughout the last 10 years,
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
Treesound and out and about. So for
Hmm.
me, what am I doing? You guys know me. I went on my health and wellness journey um, a while back and then fell off and on because, I'm not an extremist.
Hmm.
So I decided 3 years ago, and I didn't share this with pretty much anybody or my followers. I totaled my truck 3 years ago,
Hmm.
and it was a real awakening for me. Like, you know what, you Grammy nominated, you're Emmy winning. I've been grateful for Flex and Shanice and being on Oprah's own network, and just the opportunities that I've had with A&E and NBC and Atlanta and Company in the Morning. Atlanta has been so wonderful to me because when I got here, first of all, when I saw Black Police in 1996, I'm like, wait a minute, the police is black coming from Chicago. This is where I want to be.
Hmm.
As black people, seeing successful black people in Atlanta work together and come together was really what drew me here. And I'm just really grateful for the community and what everybody has done to support me here.
Hmm.
What have I been doing and where I'm going? You brought up the Earth Girl movement. I don't know if you know, but the Stonewood label that I started years and years and years ago and just have been sitting dormant. COVID has kind of made me rethink where I am in life.
Hmm.
And yeah, I've always been somebody who searched for peace and
Hmm.
prosperity because, coming from, you know, underprivileged background in Chicago and being at my grandmother's house in the projects and having to, fight for everything you have,
Hmm.
you sometimes when you become successful as a human being, after all those years, you come complacent and that's what I didn't want to do. So, for me, most people obviously know me from our world famous Treesound Studios, where I'm the chief operating officer and partner. But this
Is it
COVID,
still open? Is Tree Sound still open?
well, Treesound, we closed down about 6 weeks ago due to COVID,
Hmm.
which obviously our business was hit hard like everybody else's. And
Hmm.
it really, it's really been tough because obviously our guys are hand to mouth engineers.
Right.
They work, long hours and they're the most unappreciated. So, for those guys, I just want to shout out all the tree sound engineers and everybody who's been with us over these last, for me, 15 years that I've been there. But
Mm-hmm.
for, Treesound has been such a great place to grow and anchor. And this COVID thing that happened just really made us all come together digitally and online and figure out what we can do. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful for the community that we have. You brought up Earth Girl. You were there, right?
Yes,
So if
yes.
you guys don't know, Earth Girl ATL at Earth Girl ATL, that's the movement and the hashtag. I started that in 2008 with a bunch of Girl Scouts that flew in all over the country, and we had basically a small version of what this big version became. After
Mm-hmm.
after J Cole and our team hosted the Dreamville camp, Return of the
Mm-hmm.
Dreamers, it gave me the idea, you know what, after that accident, you want to do things that matter. I had a conversation with Jay-Z's attorney, Jennifer Justice, who started the Justice Department. I think she was with
Mm-hmm.
Jay for 15 years, helping him build his stuff. And she said, Molly, you're Grammy nominated. You've been producing for television and film for years, but only 5 to 7% of the music is made by women. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I really did a hard push for the women in Earth Throne. It actually is. It's becoming like wildfire.
Mm-hmm.
COVID is a blessing and a curse to for so many different reasons. But the Earth Girl movement, there's women all over the country and world who came that are connecting with each other. They're
Mm-hmm.
writing music. If this one does what you do in PR and press and exposure, this one's helping this one. So, it's been a huge blessing for me to practice what I preach when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to sit your ass down and take a minute for self care. So for me, the
Right.
yoga, going for walks, um, you know, making music. I've been in my home studio making a lot of music, and I'm excited. I mean, my focus right now, because Treesound is closed, is continuing to do what we do as a community,
Mm-hmm.
support
Mm-hmm.
each other. So,
Right.
shout out to everybody on the Stonewood label. We just my production company finished about 125 songs with Missy Elliott. I think this COVID thing is about timing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and
Right.
everybody's looking in their life like it was time for me to have a hard reset and change. So, I've always wanted to get back into, doing records and helping and supporting people because that's what I do. So the Stonewood label is mostly a supportive label it's for everyone. Because what's a
Mm-hmm.
female movement without the guys? So we've got guys, girls,
Right.
it's really a beautiful thing. It's something I thought of years ago, and I'm just now starting to put time and energy into it because what else can you do?
Right.
You know?
Right. Right. So as far as the whole, you know, coronavirus, you've always been a person that really you watch what you eat because if anybody doesn't know, she's like the best organic chef out here. And you've been pretty much practicing just the whole health and wellness. What would you say to in today's time that will help people, you know, who's been tested positive for coronavirus? What would you recommend them as far as health and wellness is concerned about the way that you go throughout your daily journey and what you eat and how you exercise and so forth?
Yeah, well, for me, I grew up eating everything we eat as a community. And,
Mm-hmm.
when you have a hustle type mentality, you kind of just figure out like what am I doing? How come organic food is expensive and this food isn't? So for 20 years, I've been like, oh, they slanging fake food to us. Oh, they're pimping us on commercials and selling food that kills us. So for me, I am, I'm somebody who cares about my community. And I feel like your body is the vessel that carries your spirit and your mind around. And we haven't, as a community, been taught to take care of ourselves. So my
Mm-hmm.
advice during Corona and everything else is your thoughts create your world, right? So whatever you think, whether it's positive, negative, you become and it grows. You get negative, you dance with the devil, you get depressed, that's what happens. People don't realize there's a certain portion of your brain here, which a lot of people don't know. I'm a nerd and I study the human brain. I actually started going to college for it until I, took a different route in this industry. But
Mm-hmm.
your gray and white matter in your brain is affected by how much water you drink, how much sugar, which is a drug, you intake, what kind of fruits and vegetables, you intake. So my advice is your body is created by what you put in your mouth. Your
Mm-hmm.
cells. When they say you are what you eat, come on. You're not gonna be Mike Will finally, after watching him as a teenager become this mogul and buy a $300,000 car and put no regular ass gas in it or diesel, some shit that will fuck up the engine, right? You're gonna
Right.
take care of it. So for me, my advice is start taking. You ain't got to do it right away. Organic food can be expensive, but
Yeah.
you could go to Aldi's, you could go to Trader Joe's, you could go to Kroger and find sales on things. You could eat vegetables more. We got to stop as a community eating for pleasure. That's the fucking trick. We built a country here. We built this country and then we were ostracized after building it. So when you look at the history of music, okay, we came out of slavery. Here's ragtime. You got all Duke Ellington and Quincy Jones and all these people. But then when black people realized, damn, they fucking still hate us here. There comes the blues in Chicago, where I was bred out of my grandpa playing the blues and, Buddy Guy and all these guys and Miles Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
my advice is you are what you fucking eat and you need to change it or you're not going to be here because the only way to fight the virus is to have healthy enzymes in your body that can fight it off. It ain't no hot Cheetos or no Snickers or no Snapple doing that.
Right.
Real motherfucking talk.
Right.
So that's where I am with the health and wellness. I'm proud of Mike Will, by the way, with this farmers market. I'm proud of the guys who, listen to me about really taking the time to be here spiritually and mentally and physically at your best. Our
Mm-hmm.
bodies have been created to be machines. Think about if we all just became an army. We
Yeah.
exercise and our minds are right. We're eating right. And then great. You know me, I like to partay. How many parties you
Right.
think I've been to? With all these liquor brands and, the things that I like to party. I like to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do everything. You got to do everything in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my health and wellness shit.
Do you do you foresee yourself like when you come out of this, what's something that you want to do like when all of this is said and done and the curve is like, completely flattened?
I don't know if the curve is going to be completely flattened, and I got a lot of I don't believe what people tell me, whether you are a hierarchy or whatever. So for me, I study the Spanish flu. I've studied this stuff for years. You guys know me. I talk about health and wellness. I talk about pandemics. I talk about solar power. I talk about what we need to survive. And I honestly think we need to start thinking globally and differently and understanding that we need to plant our own food, get our own power, and not be, you got to have power, whether it's personal power where you believe when no one else does, and you just keep going. And after a while, your tree grows to the power from the sun, dig a
Mm-hmm.
well, plant a fucking seed. So you're not
Right.
you don't got to go and wait for 6 people to come out the store to get your tomatoes because you got to plant outside. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, when you ask me what I'm planning, I'm doing the same shit I was doing before. I've been this person. This is not a surprise for me. And anybody who knows me, Molly, you've been said some shit like this was going to pop off. And that's why I wanted to build this community. And I'm grateful for it because now what I see, shout out to BET, $17 million raised. Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Kim Page, the CMO over there, and James Cuthbert, who's the head of marketing,
Mm-hmm.
because what they're doing for our community
Right.
is invaluable. So for me, we were going to do the BET lead up with the Stonewood Girls and Earth Girls, but
Mm-hmm.
it's probably not going to happen, that experience outdoors. So what I'm planning on doing is making music, putting it out, supporting artists and producers, partnering. The publishing company and label that I have is a partnership. Ain't nobody signed to me. We partners. What are you bringing to me? You know what I mean? Like we got to
Right.
partner. Everybody looking for somebody to sign them. Well, ain't nobody have you as no child. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, everybody that's on my team, Chloe the Guide, shout out to um, Sydney, Star Baby, shout out to Zarina, Rostar. You know, I got 2 producers that are my partners out in Chicago, John Content. And I mean, these guys who have made music and have hits that wanted somebody to say, how can it be a fair partnership? So for me, I've just been sitting back kind of learning how the new system is happening. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, they just now figured out how to pay you online with YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
SoundCloud, all this stuff. So, obviously I've been working on my own record for
Uh-huh.
years, and everyone, I had Tuma and them say, you've been working on this record for all these years. Well, you've been working on how to figure out how to pay me. These companies have been working on how do I pay you per views. So,
Uh-huh.
Missy hadn't dropped a song in 14 years. She probably feels
Right.
like me. Now, she was famous. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not to normal people. T.I. said you famous to famous people, which is great for me because I don't like the pressure. You know what I mean? It's a
I,
lot of pressure being a celebrity.
yeah. Yeah. I just
So,
saw you
for
on
me,
there. Yeah.
what's my next step? I feel like my next step is, everybody in life, when you have a hard reset, you have to, you got to ask the universe, what does God have for you? And what
Mm-hmm.
was your dream? What do you want to do? And for me, I think Dr. Dre went through it. I think even Elliot Wilson, when he left what he was doing, I'm growing and evolving. And I think what I want to do is continue my platform with spreading health and wellness. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
do because I have to do it for myself.
Right.
Because I can't help others and I always say you got to put your oxygen mask on before you help
Mm-hmm.
others in life, not just the
Mm-hmm.
airplane, right?
Right.
So for me, I'm about to do what all these people, I'm about to do what Clive Davis did, what Jimmy Iovine did, what Jay-Z is doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm in the middle of doing it. I just don't share as much, here's who I am. Because for me, a lot of time I feel like my journey, yeah, I could be an influence and man, I look up to you, but my journey is my journey. Your
Mm-hmm.
timing is your timing. So I feel like my time now is to really focus on making music that I love and, be around people that I personally believe in and I trust and I
Mm-hmm.
love. So, that and then the Earth Girl Festival and
Mm-hmm.
camp, that shit is like Burning Man. It's like spread like wildfire. I didn't expect it. So for me, I feel a certain responsibility to the women who came forth. Lisa Cambridge, who helped us break Little Mama and Lip Gloss. That was my first placement when
Mm-hmm.
Groove told me, if you're not going to do this record with Clive,
Mm-hmm.
go find a female artist. I hooked up with my boy Ali.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, brought Little Mama down and Groove did lip gloss. And that was the start of me going, okay, how do these systems work? So now that I've, over the last 15 years, figured out how these systems in the music industry work, I'm about to take what's mine and everybody who I love. I'm taking what's ours. And I think when I say take, it's not a taker thing. It's we're going to give you great music. We're going
Mm-hmm.
to give you our hearts. We're going to give our time, whether this COVID thing lasts or not. We're going to go online and show you how we're writing together, how we're going for walks, how we're challenging each other to stay healthy. We're
Mm-hmm.
making recipes online. All these wonderful brands that have supported us over the years. Shea Moisture, Smart Water, Coca-Cola Company, you know, Viacom, all these people who've really been here for us,
Mm-hmm.
they're here for us. So luckily this is not a fluke, or this was just pushing the plan that Groove and I had to,
Mm-hmm.
like, let's just sit and help our friends. We co-executive produced Friday Night Lights with J. Cole 10 years ago. Then
Mm-hmm.
doing this camp and getting a Grammy for ROTD3 10 years later, that's a sign that, those who laugh last and are not thirsty to show their shit. Let me show my shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Get great at what you're doing. Build relationships that you trust. Understand how the money's collected. That shit took time. So now
Yeah.
I didn't put out a record. I don't work for free. I got to know when I
Right.
come off tour
Okay.
that I get this money. Or my artists the
Right.
same way. My partners don't. We want to do the right thing, but we also business people that want to be looked at the way that I'm looked at. Never
Mm-hmm.
fuck nobody over. Okay, if that's for you, that's for you. It's no weird shit. And that's really where I'm going after this pandemic, is where I've been. If God gives me an extra day to live, I'm not thinking about the past unless it's to say, God damn, I made it through that shit. Look how far I came.
Right.
I'm not I'm not looking at the future other than, you know what, you have to plan. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what they say, you make the plans and God laughs. And then the shit is always different. Every blessing I've always had come from me going and doing the work, and it was a different situation than I thought it would be, and it was better because I
You have a
believe.
genuine personality where you're always helping people anyway. So
Yeah, it's been a
kudos to you.
blessing. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like you said, Grammy nominated, Emmy winning. All this stuff came from me helping others. The A show, Shanice on Oprah Free Network. I was able to show my yoga and health and wellness on Oprah Network. So
Right.
I've been patient for many years. I've helped my friends in helping my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, helping Drake and Future facilitate them opening up my doors and cooking for them every day for What a Time to Be Alive. I learned so much about what
Wow.
two humans who don't stop can do.
Right.
And then when Drake shouts me out on Apple, and shout out to 2 Chainz, shouting me out on Breakfast Club, and knowing that the people that I've decided to help, they're my friends who care about me. It's a blessing, to be honest. It's crazy as fuck because I had some kids ask me, "Hey, how'd you get to where you at?" I went to broadcast journalism school. You're on NBC in the mornings for 5 years. Man, I got locked up and I lost my scholarship my first year of college. I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. Met somebody at church who was a jingle producer, started producing. My story is I always believed that God had a purpose for me, and I wasn't so fucking hard on myself. I was for a long time in my teenage years, you know, but I didn't just keep beating myself up. So if you're out here beating yourself up for some shit that you did, maybe you need to decompress from your childhood and realize the shit that you were taught, the way that you were taught to move, the depression or the insecurities you have, that you don't choose the greatness for yourself, is because you need to fucking unlearn that shit. Treesound, growing up in the world famous Treesound Studios where Andre 3000 Tip did his first record, and being able to be a partner, bring Tip back in after he got locked up and do Trouble Man. Bring these cats back, Andre 3000, to get on a record with T.I. for Trouble Man. He never even had done a record, and they're friends. The things that I've learned in that building by doing what I didn't want to do got me to do what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot,
Mm-hmm.
our first 5 years in Treesound, I cried every week almost. Like, damn, this shit ain't easy. Treesound was on the map. Everybody in the music industry knew it. They pretty much did all those LaFace records with TLC. They were the first to record in our live room. You know, Paul built a place with Treesound that was magical. When I came in, it was at a time where rock music didn't have the budgets anymore that they did, and rap
Mm-hmm.
had no budgets. So, he allowed Groove and I to have the autonomy to bring in B.O.B. and sleep in his office and help with his band, to bring in 2 Chainz, just be like, you good. Do both, one in the back. You good whether you have it or not. To be
Mm-hmm.
able to have Drake there when Wayne got locked up and be there for a month mixing with 40 and those guys. We were able to do some amazing things, from Big Crit to Big Sean to J. Cole, you know, doing Wiz Khalifa's marketing with Cannon Kid at Atlantic, and becoming best friends with his mom. The things that I got out of Treesound and that I continually to pour into people is you grow where you're planted. A lot of people I put Treesound on the map. Treesound was on the map. What I did was I brought my friends and I brought my energy. David Banner said something to me. He said, Molly, you are Treesound. And I said, I'm not Treesound, I'm Molly. But the energy that you feel in this building comes from the heart of what Groove and I wanted
Comes
to
from
do for
you.
our community.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So now it's time for me to take it out to the world. And this COVID thing just really got me shit. I didn't go no fucking where for 14 years in that building. You don't think Lenny Kravitz, you should come to Paris? Mike Will, Ray Trimmer broke, you come out here, go to Australia with this one. Everybody's everywhere asking me to travel the world, and I had to do it when I could afford it and when
Mm-hmm.
I could do it and take my team and my squad. So last year, Kim Page took me out with Shea Moisture to Paris. The first time I ever went to Paris. People are like, you never been to Paris? No, I was in Italy. I've traveled the world, but the world that I saw last year after the J. Cole camp, Greece, Malta, Paris, I want to get the fuck out of here now. You know what I mean? So as
Mm-hmm.
much as I love Treesound and will be there as long as I can, I have a desire to do my music and to see the artists that I love and the producers, and shout out to Miguel, my chief engineer. 15 years, Grammy winning with Lil Wayne, Lenny Kravitz whole strut record, Whitney Houston. His accolades are amazing, and this COVID thing is allowing him to make music. Now
Right.
he's producing, and we're pitching stuff and dropping it on Viacom's channel. So, you know, for me, it's time for everyone in your life to evaluate who's
Mm-hmm.
there for you, who you're there for, what you're willing to give. Is it mutually beneficial relationships? Are you
Mm-hmm.
respected? Are you appreciated? Because you have one fucking life. This shit ain't no dress rehearsal.
Right. Right.
It's a
So,
miracle I'm here because I used to run the streets and be a knucklehead, man. You know what I mean?
wow.
So for me, there's going to be opportunities. Like I
Okay.
said, shout out to BET. We were going to do a Earth Girl stage for the live experience leading up to the awards in LA, and I was
Mm-hmm.
going to take that camp there.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what happens with COVID, we're going to be in every state doing the
Okay.
same festivals and bringing us together. And somebody said, "Is Earth Girl just for Black girls?" Earth Girl is not just for Black girls, but because we are the most underappreciated, underpaid, and there's 80,000 of us missing for our organs and sex slavery, that's
Mm-hmm.
who we and the brands that love our community are focused on. But it is for everyone.
Okay.
How you can join, it's growing into a community where you can figure out how you fit in. You live in LA and we're going to be out there. We're going to have online ways to sign up to come.
Okay.
I didn't have a system on how do you get to come for the 3,000 women that came. 3,000 women came together in,
Mm-hmm.
in 8 days. My system was I went down my timeline and see who been liking my pictures since I got on Instagram and see who got good spirits and good hearts. It's about building together. And even though it says Earth Girl, there's a lot of men who support us. T.I. came,
Right.
you know, pulled up on us. Mike Will pulled up on us. Izzy the producer, you know, it was special. So just look for online stuff until this COVID thing is over. We're doing some great things with Shea Moisture, and I know I ain't looking very Shea Moisture. Go put some of them Shea Moisture products. We got this little avocado product I'm gonna try and be online next week. I'm gonna be cooking some healthy things and talking about health and wellness with Shea Moisture. But you guys will
Okay.
see ways to join online. We did that great experience with Nike and Finish Line right
Mm-hmm.
before COVID, a national campaign where we said,
Right.
hey, learn how to come right and produce with us. So
Mm-hmm.
it really is just follow the Earth Girl ATL. And
Okay.
I mean, some dope artists on Stonewood that we've signed from the camp and before the camp. So, you know, I would just say check that out and just keep up with me because, you know, I used to get Molly, how did get new face? What up? How did like Molly? How I didn't get invited? What I got off your email list? All those events I did over 15 years, or I'll say 12 because the first 3 years I wasn't trying to have nobody there. All
Mm-hmm.
the events I did since 2017, I never had no. You're the VIP. You're the not. Who's on our list? I went down my timelines, text messages, see who was emailing me. Molly, I need a break. Molly, I haven't heard from you. Molly, how are you? So when people say,
Right.
"Man, I didn't get invited to the Dreamville camp," that was Jermaine and Eve and Matt. Shout out to Matt, money making Matt. Him
Mm-hmm.
and MK, female who's running shit in the business. Those two A&R the shit out that and made sure it happened. So, you know, for me, just check up with me. Send me DMs. Look on Earth Girl. Y'all know who I fuck with by who's on my page. So that's how you get involved and just be fucking righteous. Do unto others. It ain't that hard. Shit.
There it
Earth Girl
is.
shit was because of I ain't gonna use foul language on your site, Brianna. But somebody's like, they didn't invite any females to the Earth Girl session. I'm sorry, Ari Lennox spoke Shay Moore Butter Baby, and it was a bunch of girls. You know, shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Flo the God and Mariba, and you know all these women who came together, um, you know, to be there. I was like, oh, it ain't. We didn't invite women. Molly, you don't help women. You always help Two Chains. You always help Drake. You always help Future. You help because they have squads. Ti since the second grade. Doug has probably been with this nigga. You
Right.
got your mama and the girl from Bank of America. Find your squad. That is what this is about, Earth Girl.
Right.
Finding the women and men who support you and be solid. Don't just be an asker, narcissist. Hey, how can I? Well, what could you do? What could you do? Molly, can you help me? Well, can you help me? That's where you got to be in life. Because you got one life. You don't have 500 years on the planet,
Right.
you know?
Right. There you have it, guys. Straight from the person herself.
So
She's
what is
giving
this?
you straight.
Somebody asked a question. What is that? Oh, it was locked out. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
She
I'm
made,
grateful for you having me on.
no problem. We got Asha Marie. She just checked in. She's from Chicago too. Dope artist. She just checked.
Asha, what
Or
up?
Asha
What it
Marie.
do? Hey, I'm about to do some. My dream was when I left Chicago
Mm-hmm.
to go to New York and come back in 5 years and be the Oprah Winfrey of the music side, and didn't realize as a 21-year-old that great shit takes time. I've been
Yeah.
DJ Khaled is a dear friend.
Oh, I saw you
This
on his
motherfucker
live the
been
other day.
doing this shit. It ain't
Right.
new. So when the
Right.
world sees you, it's new to them. Like everybody, oh, I saw you on T.I.'s Family Hustle. Well, I did that 6 months ago. Amazon, shout out to Amazon and James Shin. We shot that Amazon stuff during Earth Girl and during COVID months later. That was shot in October. So, man, yeah. Shout out to Chicago. I want to hear her music. Put me on game.
I'm gonna
Put me
put you
on
on
game
game.
with her.
I'm gonna
I'm
put you
about
on
to come
game
out
with
to
it.
Chicago though and help some kids.
She's dope. Asha Marie, definitely,
I,
definitely.
I, I think I know of her. I think we might have connected at some point. If not, I will.
Okay.
Cause you
Okay.
know me, Lil
Right.
Bibby. Lil Bibby was my starter going to Chicago. Shout out to Chance the Rapper. We
Okay.
go, we go high, comfy like Molly's couch. Shouted me out. I don't take that for granted. I'm grateful for you, Chance. You didn't have to do that. I'm grateful for you, Drake, 2 Chainz, T.I., T-Pain. You know, y'all, we've supported each other and been solid. So shout out to
That,
those who are solid, to the Knicks who's solid to them.
well, shout out to
Try not to
you.
say the N word that much, but that's who I am right now.
Shout out to you, Molly. Definitely, you've always been supportive of me, and again, I do appreciate it.
JGK.
Appreciate it to the fullest. Well, definitely, we
I'm
do
trying to see you
appreciate
be
you for
Oprah
checking
Winfrey and
in.
be at your mansion. I'm trying to see you be Tyler Perry and be this content
Listen,
queen that you are.
listen, we're gonna get there. We're definitely gonna get there. Definitely, definitely. Well, again, I do appreciate you for checking in and taking the time to speak to me, and joining me on my new platform, Hip Hop United.
Oh,
You
Kia's Queen was on here. I didn't see that. Hey, listen, I'm new to this fucking live shit. All y'all who I didn't shout out, I'm not the type of nigga who looked down and saw your name and didn't shout you out. So yeah, I
I'm kind of
appreciate
new at it
I
too.
appreciate you appreciating me. Shout out to
No
Queen Key from
problem.
Chicago. I'm a fan. She to me is a new little Kim. Crazy, awesome person. Who else is on here? JTK, Tandria, all the my auntie on here. What were we doing? I look like my auntie on here. Yeah, man. To all you guys,
Yes,
just
I mean
keep
everybody
keep
there.
the faith. Vilon Franco, Franco. Wait till y'all see her. She's dope. She's out of Florida. There's my
Okay.
cousin Tamika. So yeah, shout out to everybody. Euclid, I see you. Everybody who joined. Yeah, I love you guys, and it's because of you guys, really, Bree. It's because of y'all do such selfless work. You give exposure to artists and producers and the people, and then they don't see you and say hi, and that
Yeah.
shit bothered me. And I
Yeah.
had to look at people in press and media, not like, oh, look at these, they gonna tell my business. I had to
Mm,
look at people like, without you, nobody knows what we're doing. So I
right.
appreciate you, Hip Hop
Thank you.
United. I'm a
Thank you.
fan. I'm a supporter, and
Appreciate it.
kiss that little baby boy for me. He probably
I
gonna be
got
the next Tyler Perry watching you. You know,
He's ready to go outside right now.
I know. Tell him Auntie Molly said, soon, soon
Right.
comes.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day. Again, we do appreciate you for checking in and speaking to me and taking the time to speak to Hip Hop United.
All right, girl. Until the next time.
All right.
Peace,
We
y'all.
are
Peace.
out.